Hi, I'm Amy Coons, Research Analyst here at Infotech Research Group. Thanks for joining me today as we talk about creating a realistic data integration strategy. When you consider your data architecture, what word comes to mind? If you're like many of the organizations we speak with, the words like chaotic may be what you're thinking. If so, this video is for you. In today's video, we will discuss what to do in the short term and the long term to keep your data architecture above water and work towards an optimized state. In the short term, you need to take control of your architecture now to keep it from getting worse. Let's face it, there's no quick fix to fixing a broken architecture, but there are things you can do. First, identify the issues that your current integration infrastructure has and the processes and tools that support it. Where are you feeling the pain in this? Focus on these areas that are adding to chaos so that you can start to correct them. Second, start documenting your architecture. 76% of mid-sized organizations don't do this. The result? Each subsequent integration is increasingly complex, which extends to project timelines. Data definitions and data dictionaries are important to develop. They're critical to the value of enterprise systems. This doesn't mean that we want you to stop everything and create a data dictionary, but do start developing them now as you go forward. Decide what architecture model your organization should work towards. To help you decide between hub and spoke, federated, distributed, or a combination of these, think about the most critical interfaces and choose a model that best suits these needs. 82% of organizations we surveyed agree that data integrations are not approved generally as standalone projects, meaning they are part of an application project. Clients tell us that integration is often an afterthought when these projects are scoped. So, where do you go from here? Don't fall victim to these projects. Leverage them with your new model architecture in mind, and some projects will work better than others, so pick ones where business and IT are both feeling the pain of poor integrations. Lastly, the short term is a good time to define standards for integration development. Define which tools your team will use and the approach they will take to develop integrations. Define standards for documentation and tie this into performance approvals. Implement code reviews to identify best practices and build consistency in processes. Following these steps in the short term will get you from chaos to controlled, but start now. It only gets harder as time goes on. Now let's consider long-term strategy. The following components will help you in the journey from controlled to optimized. This is the part that takes some time, even years, to achieve. Keep working towards the model architecture you chose. As projects are implemented, make sure the standards you've set are considered when selecting or renewing applications, and look for integration consolidation opportunities. Sometimes the easiest way to fix an integration is to rebuild it completely, but with a new model architecture in mind, you may be able to replace 3 problematic integrations with 1 rebuild, an easy way to simplify. Next is building executive support. Find a vocal and influential business sponsor that is feeling the business impacts of poor integration. Help them articulate what might not be the obvious or immediate benefits to a project to ensure that project gets the appropriate business prioritization. Prove these benefits with a prototype and communicate success to the executive team. Lastly, enforce the standards that you have set. This creates accountability for project roadblocks and creates a level playing field for all involved. Exceptions to the standards should be allowed sparingly to minimize architecture complexity. In this video, we have decided what to do in the short term and the long term to help you achieve data integration goals by bringing business and IT together and creating a realistic data integration strategy. The road to optimization is long and bumpy, but using these tactics and strategies will help you get there. Thank you very much for joining me, and happy integrating.